LAEF TV. I'm Carrie Loeb, LAEF's Executive Director. Today we have a great magic lesson with Richard from Strategic Kids. You'll learn 2 awesome tricks, and all you need is a deck of cards and a popsicle stick to impress your family. So gather those items and get ready to have some fun. I'd like to thank Sean Payne, Certified Financial Planner with Edward Jones, for sponsoring this episode and making it possible by supporting our teacher. All right, take it away, Richard.
Hi, hello, my name is Richard with Strategic Kids. At Strategic Kids, we teach life strategies through games. And what better way to do that than with the art of magic? We're going to learn some awesome magic tricks today. Some key terms we're going to use during the course of our lesson are going to be illusion, sleight of hand, key card, stacked deck, and paddle move. We will get to paddle move and sleight of hand in the second part of the lesson today. But the first lesson is going to involve a deck of cards. Everything involves an illusion, and it will also involve the stacked deck. That's what we're going to be doing with the deck of cards. Before we begin, let's say what an illusion is. If you know at home what an illusion is, that's fantastic. But for those that don't know, an illusion is simply something that looks like one thing, but it's actually something else, like a mirage. It looks like you're seeing something, but it's not actually there. Therefore, it's called an optical illusion, optical being your eyes. So an optical illusion is a trick of the eye, and that's what magicians do. It creates the art of illusion. It's a lot of fun, and it's very interactive. Some of the key strategies that magic teaches, the life strategies that magic teaches, is, of course, human interaction. You can't have magic without another person watching your trick. If there's nobody to watch, it's not really magic. I have all of you at home to watch, therefore it's going to be magic. It also helps to teach public speaking, and it also helps self-confidence. Because again, when it comes to magic, it's the art of illusion, something that isn't real but looks real. Therefore, the person watching thinks what they're seeing is real, but you know it's not real. You know the secret. Therefore, you feel pretty smart, you feel pretty confident, and it also helps to teach manual dexterity. It helps you to practice. It helps to teach you to keep yourself organized. It's a lot of great lessons to learn with magic. But first and foremost, let's dive right into an actual magic trick that you can do at home with a deck of cards, very easy to get. And we're going to move the camera a little closer to focus just on my hands and just on the mat. And we're going to do that for this trick and the next trick I'm going to teach. Okay, so let's punch in right now. Okay, so the first trick we're going to learn is a card trick called the Fantastic Five. You'll see why it's called the Fantastic Five. The first thing you're going to do is pick up, a chunk of the cards, about half, whatever. Have them pick a card. You can spread them like this. You can put them down on the table, or even just hand the audience member, the person watching, the stack that you're holding in your hand, and they can pick out whatever card they want. Let's say they choose the 6 of clubs. So that's our chosen card, the 6 of clubs. We are going to take the 6 of clubs and place it back on top of the deck like so. We then cut the deck, and you can cut it a few times if you'd like so. We can cut it one more time. That mixes them up just a little bit. Now we spread, and we'll see that one card, here we go, one card has turned itself around inside the deck. That one card is the 5 of spades. Obviously, that's not the chosen card, but the 5 of spades is what we call a key card. The key card is going to tell us where your chosen card is. It's saying it's 5 cards down from the key card, so 5. So we're going to count off 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th card is going to be your chosen card, the 6 of clubs, like so. But here's the cool thing. What about the 4 cards that were between the key card and the chosen card? Well, that assembled the ace of diamonds, ace of clubs, ace of hearts, and the ace of spades, creating the Fantastic Five. And now for the explanation of how the Fantastic Five works. It's very, very simple. The way the Fantastic Five works is you have what's called a stacked deck. We mentioned this key term at the beginning. A stacked deck is simply a deck where the cards are in a certain order. You just have to make sure you don't mess up that order. Here's the order. It's just the bottom part. The order is you have the 4 aces. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 aces face down. That's the face of the card. Where you see the ace, that's the face, that's the back. So you want the 4 aces face down and the 5 face up on top of them. The rest of the deck is going to go on top. So now we have a deck of cards with the 5 and the 4 aces on the bottom. That's why we're only picking up the top half of the deck. It doesn't matter what card they choose. Let's say in this example, they're choosing the 5 of diamonds. So now you take the cards you just picked up, place them back down. The deck is still stacked in the same order. We still have on the bottom the 4 aces and the 5 of spades face up. What I'm going to do for the sake of the explanation is I'm going to turn the aces around so you can see exactly what's going on. I'm also going to leave the chosen card, the 5 of diamonds, face up. Remember, when you actually perform this, the aces are going to be face down, and the 5 of diamonds, the chosen card, will also be face down, and the chosen card goes on top of the deck. Following along? If not, it's okay. It's a video. You can rewind it and watch it again. We're going to now cut the deck. Here's the cool thing. When you cut the deck, cutting the deck means you're going to pick up about half the cards, set it to the side, pick up the other half, and place it on top. When you do that, whatever was on the bottom is now going to go directly on top. So you're just simply placing your stack on top of the chosen card. The cool thing about cutting the cards is it doesn't actually mess up the deck. It's called a circular principle. We'll get into this more in future lessons and how it works. The cards actually make a giant circle. Think of it like a donut, where it doesn't really stop. If I was to take the cards again and cut them, I'm not going to go too deep. I want to make sure I don't accidentally cut it to the 5. I'm not really messing up the order of the deck. It looks like I'm messing it up by cutting the cards, but I'm not messing it up by cutting the cards. Again, we'll explain this more in a future video, just as long as you understand that when you cut the deck, you're not really messing up the cards. After you cut it a couple of times, making sure you don't accidentally cut to the 5, and if you do cut to the 5 by accident, all you have to say is, oh, hey look, 1 card turned around inside the deck. Great. And then you can just continue on with the rest of the trick. That's all you have to do. But we're trying to not cut to the 5. We now spread the cards, and the way you do that is set the cards to the side. You want to pull the cards across. So you take your pointer finger and press down on the edge of the deck, like this. And my pointer finger is kind of wrapping around, and I'm using my middle finger and my thumb to steady and keep the cards squared up. So all I have to do is move it along like this, and I'm just putting pressure. See, I'm pushing down and pulling over. Push and pull. As long as you have a surface that's nice and soft, which I can recommend using something like a towel, a nice soft surface, it will spread pretty easily. You spread the cards, and as you can see, because I left everything face up, you see how it's all stacked right there? Remove everything above your key card, and then remove everything from underneath the 5th. So you count off your 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you take the 5th card off, move the entire deck to the side, get it out of the way, reveal the 5th card, which happens to be the 5 of diamonds. That's the chosen card. And then you reveal the 4 aces. One more time. Everything looking the way it's supposed to look. We have the 4 aces face down. The 5 of spades. It could be any 5. It doesn't have to be the 5 of spades. I like to use the 5 of spades because it's a good contrast to the red cards, red-backed cards. If you're using a blue deck, you can use the 5 of hearts. Makes it a very nice contrast. Take the rest of the deck, place it on top. four aces face down, the 5 face up, the rest of the cards go on top. A card is chosen. This time it's the 10 of hearts. It goes back on top of the deck, face down. When I cut the deck, remember the 10 is right here. The 4 aces and the 5 are on the bottom. That's going to be placed directly on top of the 10. We have our magical gesture. Magical gestures are very important. We'll get more into things like magical gestures, how to use them. This is what people think actually makes the magic happen. You wave your hand, you give a tap like that. You press the button right in the center. And then you spread the cards. Obviously, pressing the button or tapping or waving has nothing to do with how the trick actually worked, but it helps to create the illusion that you're doing something else to make the magic trick work as opposed to stacking the deck. Again, an illusion is something that looks like one thing, but it's actually something else. Remove everything above the 5. Put the 5 off to the side, and then we count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th card, the chosen 10 of hearts. Put the 5 and the 10 across from each other. This creates a very nice display. Right, on a nice display, we want it to look pretty. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4 aces, and there's your fantastic 5. Make sure you practice. It's a lot of fun, but only if you practice. Our next trick is called the hot rod. The hot rod looks just like this with 2 dots far away from each other, about an inch, inch and a half. I drew the dots on one side, but I also drew the dots on the other side. So side 2, I have the dots, and on side 1, I have the 2 dots. 2 dots and 2 dots far away from each other, 2 dots and 2 dots. Now if I take the hot rod and I shake it, and I shake it, and I shake it really good, and the 2 dots jump close to each other. The one far away shoots forward just like that. It does it on that side, and it also does it on the other side. Side 1 and side 2, side 1, side 2, side 1. Give it one more shake, and like that, bam. They separate one more time. So I have them separated on that side, and I have them separated on that side, and on that side. But on this side, I have 2 dots, right? On this side, I have the 2 dots close to each other. 2 dots close, 2 dots close, 2 dots close, 2 dots far, 2 dots far, 2 dots close. You know what? That's too many sides. Why don't I leave this side with 2 dots close and this side with 2 dots far away? And then you can take this and hand it out and have somebody examine it and look at it, and it works out just great. It's a perfect little illusion called the hot rod, and it utilizes the paddle move. The paddle move is what we talked about at the beginning of the video. The paddle move looks like this. You have a stick, that's a paddle. It's a stick with a handle, and all you're doing is rolling it in your fingers as you turn your wrist. So let me explain what's going on here. I took a popsicle stick. I drew 2 dots on one side, far away. 2 dots on the other side, close to each other. I then took a rubber band, and I wrapped the rubber band around until it's nice and tight, and that rubber band makes it easy to roll in your fingers. Here's how this illusion works. You hold the stick in your hand with the dots pointing out to the side. You don't want them facing in, going across all your fingers. You want them going out to the side. You can just hold them over your middle finger and your pointer finger with your thumb on top, just like me. I'll hold it here for a second till you can get yourself in position. But if you're a righty watching me do this, you'll notice that I'm a lefty, and as a lefty, it's going to be like you're looking into a mirror. If I was right-handed, it would look like this. So I'm here. It's sticking out the side of my pointer finger. That's where you want it. You want it to stick out the side of your pointer finger. Whichever hand you're holding it in, whichever hand that you write with, that's the hand you're going to use. All I'm doing, before we do anything else, keep your thumb nice and still and follow me. do this with me. After you've wrapped this and you've drawn your dots, you can pause the video right now to draw your dots and put your rubber band on, and I'll wait. Okay, and we're back. So here's what we're going to do. Palm up, turn your wrist, palm down. Palm up, palm down. And like that. Palm up, palm down. You're showing both sides of the stick. That's what the illusion is. The illusion is that it looks like we're showing both sides of the stick, when in fact we only ever show one side of the stick at any given time. I'll show you what I mean. Now that we've turned our hand palm up and palm down, just by rotating our wrist, we're now going to roll the stick with our thumb. We roll it forward and we roll it back. Roll it forward and roll it back. Forward and back. What you're doing is, if I have the two dots far away from each other, palm up. If I roll it forward and then turn my wrist where my palm is down, I'm still showing the side with the two dots far away. We'll call that side one. If I roll it back and then turn my wrist palm up, again, you're only seeing side one. If I do them at the same exact time, that's the important thing. Make sure you do it at the same exact time. You roll it and turn it at the same time. So I'm going to do that now, nice and slow, so you can see. Rolling it with my thumb and turning my wrist at the same time. Now that I am slowing it down, you should be able to see the stick rolling in my fingers. If I speed it up just a little bit, see, that's not very fast. I'm not going too fast, I'm going nice and slow. Turn and pause. Turn it and pause. Make sure you pause, because when you pause, that gives the audience member a chance to actually look and see what you're doing and see what's happening. See? You see the two dots, and you see the two dots. Now, as I rub my hand back and forth along the mat, I'm going to roll it with my thumb again, and then I stop. And it looks like the two dots moved closer together. Do it again, and there you go. The key here is to keep your hand moving, roll, and then stop. Don't stop and then roll, right? Don't move, stop, and roll, and don't roll and then start moving. You want to start moving the stick back and forth, roll it, count to 2, and then stop. Move it, roll, 1, 2, stop. Like so. So then you can show, in the beginning, two dots far away from each other, two dots far away from each other, two dots far away from each other. I'm just flipping my wrist back and forth and rolling the stick. And that's the paddle move. There's going to be other tricks that use the paddle move. Another version of the hot rod where there's 6 different colors. It's a lot of fun. The best part is getting the popsicle stick. Just ask your mom and dad to buy you a whole bunch of popsicles. Get all the popsicles you want. And then you can draw the dots on, and you can have 100 magic tricks just by buying a whole bunch of popsicles. That's the best part. Your parents get to eat the popsicles too, in order for you to make the trick. You might have to have your mom and dad help with the rubber band. If I take the rubber band off, I'll show you how that goes on. I have found little girls do this a lot more easily than little boys do, because little girls put their hair up in ponytails all the time, and it's the same exact thing. You're just going to wrap it around like you're wrapping up a ponytail, and you do it till it's nice and tight. You might need your mom and dad to help you with this part, but that's okay. We like when mom and dad help. We like when they get involved. There we go. Now it's nice and tight. The rubber band helps to roll the stick. Without the rubber band, it's hard to get the stick to move. See, I'm pushing and pushing, it's not rolling. Here, I push and it rolls. Super easy, super fast. So I'm rolling a stick and turning it at the same time. The illusion we're creating is that we're showing both sides of the stick, when in fact we're only ever showing one side. I'll even write the number 1 and the number 2. There we go. Number 1 and number 2. Side 1, side 1, side 1, side 1, back and forth. I then do my switch like that. Now we see side 2, side 2, side 2, side 2. You can then go side 1, side 1, side 1, side 1, side 2, side 2. This is going to take practice. I suggest practicing this in front of a mirror until you're able to fool yourself. Do it until it looks really convincing to you. You should be able to watch yourself in the mirror and say, hey, it really looks like I'm showing both sides of the stick. But it's important that the stick is sticking out across your pointer finger, not across your pinky. Make sure it's going across your pointer finger. It's also not sticking straight out across your middle finger either, because that's not going to do anything. You're not going to be able to roll it easily. You want to keep it sticking out across your pointer finger. No matter what hand you have it in, you want to keep it going across that pointer finger. Okay? So that's it. That's the hot rod. That's the paddle move. This utilizes what's called sleight of hand. Sleight of hand simply means nimble fingers. It means that you're able to use your hands and your fingers with dexterity. Dexterity as in you're using your indexes. Another thing that uses a lot of dexterity is typing on a keyboard without having to look at it. You know where everything is. You're able to move the mouse. That takes a lot of dexterity to be able to type on a keyboard without looking at the keyboard. Also, playing a piano requires dexterity. Being able to use your fingers individually by themselves, right? Being able to use your thumb and use your other fingers. This is a very basic type of sleight of hand. We'll get into other types of sleight of hand as we continue on with future lessons. But that's it for the hot rod. I hope you have fun with it. Well, okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video and you saw some really great magic and you practice. Let's go over a couple of things that we learned, okay? The first trick we learned was called the Fantastic Five. It was a card trick that involved the stacked deck and it involved the key card principle. Remember to practice it in front of a mirror, practice it in front of your parents, especially the sleight of hand that you learned with the paddle move when we learned the hot rod trick. It's a lot of fun to perform, but you gotta make sure you practice. Perfect practice makes perfect. If you don't practice and then you show it to somebody, there's a chance that it might not go very well and the person will figure it out and you're not going to feel very good or very confident. We want to make sure that you feel good and confident. Also make sure to practice the words, practice speaking. Make sure that you practice your script so you know what to say, how to say it, and that your message is crystal clear when you're performing. I don't know if you can tell from my voice, but I have a very bad stutter. I have to try and practice very hard at what I say, how I say it. I have to make sure I write it out. Certain words like strategic kids or life strategies through games, those kinds of words, they kind of mess me up a little bit. So I have to make sure I practice and say the words clearly. So if you're like me and speaking is a little difficult for you, please make sure that you also practice your words as well as the sleight of hand. Thank you guys again very, very much. We have a bunch of other great magic and great tricks to teach you. We're going to learn other things that utilize the key card principle. More magic tricks that use the paddle move. You're going to learn more sleight of hand. There's also, we have arts and crafts magic. We have science magic. It just doesn't stop. It's going to be a lot of fun, so please join us. Please check out Strategic Kids. And above all, please have fun with this. The point is to not just learn your life strategies through games, but to also have fun and enjoy yourself. So that's it. Thank you very much for joining us and have a fantastic rest of your day.
I'm sure you had tons of fun learning those tricks. And after some practice, I know you'll impress your family. We can't wait to see those tricks in action, so please post your videos or photos using the hashtag LAEFTV. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you know about every episode as soon as it comes out. And thank you again to Richard and Strategic Kids for this awesome lesson. And we'll see you again soon on another episode of LAEF TV. Bye!